All right, hi, everybody. This is Bridgewater Zoning Board of Appeals, June 11th meeting. This meeting of the Bridgewater Zoning Board of Appeals will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. No person in attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time. This meeting is being recorded, and within 48 hours, a link of the recording will be posted on the town website or some other town social media. Following members of the board, Zoning Board of Appeals, Bridgewater Zoning Board of Appeals participating remotely, myself, Brian Heath, Chair, Anna Klimas, Vice Chair, Dan Greenberg, Member. And during this meeting, all votes of the board will be taken as roll call votes. The following Bridgewater staff will also be participating remotely: Steve Solari, Building Commissioner, and Nicole Salvo, Executive Assistant. At the start of the meeting, everyone's mics will be muted. The board's mics will be unmuted throughout the whole meeting. And as it appears on the agenda, the project representatives' mics will be unmuted. If the project's a public hearing and allows for public comment, we ask that you use the chat feature to ask your questions by listing your name and address and your question. The chair will recognize all questions in order. You can also use the raise my hand feature in the participant menu, and you'll be unmuted when the chair recognizes you. Again, please state your name and address before asking your question. If you're on a phone, you can use the *9 to raise your hand. So right now, we get going. Just let me get to the agenda. Where the heck is that thing? Sorry. There's only one item on the agenda. It's an appeal of a denial for an accessory dwelling unit from Kenneth. Pardon?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kenneth, I could say this wrong. Sire?
Maybe Sear.
Sear?
Sear.
Okay. I think Kenneth is here. So, Kenneth, we'll hand the mic over to you, and if you want to explain the situation to us here.
Pardon my interruption. Your other member, Amanda, is joining us right now.
Okay. Amanda Mattel is an associate member of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Okay. Ken, you're currently muted, and you are unmuted now.
Perfect. My name's Ken Sear. I own a building at 1A Hemlock Drive. It's a 4-unit building, and it sits on approximately 1 acre of land. I'm here because my building permit for an accessory dwelling unit, a protected use accessory dwelling unit, was denied due to the fact that Bridgewater limits protected use ADUs only to single-family homes. And this is in direct conflict with the state law. I've uploaded and sent in the documents that support this. The most important one being the disapproval letter to East Bridgewater. It says specifically, it was from the Assistant Attorney General. I actually spoke with her on the phone. East Bridgewater had the exact same language limiting ADUs to only properties with single family homes, and that was struck down, and it was deemed against the law by the Attorney General.
Okay. Just one thing, Ken, just so you understand, as you kind of pointed out, right now, Bridgewater's bylaws stipulate that to your point, an accessory dwelling is only allowed where there's a single family home. This
Correct.
board, our ability to rule is only on what the bylaws are currently. We don't have the power to change the bylaws. That is something that the town council has to change. So the problem here is, while I don't disagree per se, I read everything, a little fuzzy on one of the whole idea of, it's not single family, it can be multifamily. And where does it end, though? That's a question, but it's not even relevant, because Again, we only have the ability, the power, granted to this board, and, we're a volunteer board. All we can do is rule on the existing zoning bylaws and look at it and see, can we get away with granting a variance or, a special permit or whatever, and not really circumvent what the bylaws stipulate. The changing of the bylaws is something that as I said, the Bridgewater Town Council has to do. We can't do that. And they literally, honestly, until this came up, I didn't know, but they just put this in, I think, in April of this year. And and I saw the Mass Chapter 71. It came out a little earlier, but unless Anna.
So the other thing too is that their bylaws were just passed, and they still have to go to the Attorney General for review.
Sorry about that.
So they still have to go to the Attorney General for review. So they're technically not even enacted yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if that's the case, then I would assume the town has to default to the state law.
Steve has
Well,
his
they
hand.
still have, an accessory dwelling within they've changed them, but, honestly, the zone, town laws and all that part of that's not, they don't pay me enough to be a lawyer for that. I don't know. I can't answer that one. We have another attorney. Anna, do you have anything?
So I'm going to be a real attorney, and I'm going to defer to Steve, who has his hand up.
Okay.
I don't.
So this, the question about the AG's office, we are a city. So our bylaws do not have to go to the AG's office. They do not have to be approved by the AG's office. That's the difference between a city and a town. Town bylaws that get approved at special meetings, that are voted on at the town, they have to go to the AG's office. Our bylaws do not get approved by the AG's office.
I was under the impression that Bridgewater is a town.
No,
We are a city.
Yeah, it's a city because it has a town council and a manager. It doesn't go through, a board of selectmen, as Steve said, where, you'd go to the board of selectmen and there's a vote on those. They can make the adjustments and approve them.
All right. So
And I would
how do
agree with
we
Brian.
How
Go
would you
ahead.
recommend me going about doing this? Because obviously what I'm trying to do is allowed by state law.
You would literally, I'm only telling you what I know. Anna, if this you think is different, you have to get an attorney and appeal, basically sue the town against what they have.
I mean, I don't need an attorney. I can do it myself. I figured this would be the first step.
Again, our authority as a board is only to rule on existing bylaws that the town has passed. We don't have the ability to change the town bylaws, whether it's in compliance with state law or not. We don't have that ability, is all I'm telling you right now.
And if
Okay.
we were to do this, it would set a dangerous precedent that anything that came before us, we could make our own decisions regardless of what the bylaws say. If I'm being candid, I'm pro ADUs. Like I like that the state has introduced them. I think we have a housing crisis. I think there's a number of good reasons, but we can't just, make these decisions on our own with with bias. It really has to be what the town bylaws say, and that's all we can go by in this council.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, at this stage, right now, we would have to vote to agree with the building inspector's denial based upon the bylaws as currently existing and written.
Okay. It's fair enough. But, the other thing that kind of stinks too is that, if it does go to court, I can seek, money for damages because I've let the town know. I've made the town aware of the issue.
I don't think so. Amanda, I saw you shaking your head too. Because it's a municipality.
If they're knowingly violating the state law, and I've brought it up to them many times, I've spoken at the town meetings. They're knowingly going against the state law. I mean, the attorney general specifically said that you can't limit it to a single family home.
I can't argue with you. Like I said, I read the statutes and, I see what it says. It's a new statute. They just introduced it. Yeah, I know one thing, it is being contested by other towns, but, right now, I know you don't like the answer, but, it's, our hands are tied in the sense that we don't have the authority to overrule what is.
But I know Steve's here, and Steve does have the authority. He's a state inspector, so he can go by the state law.
He
Yes,
cannot
yes, you follow
overrule
the-
the town bylaws.
Yeah.
Steve
Even
is,
if
he
it's
cannot,
incorrect.
whether it's right or wrong, they're the town bylaws, Steve.
The
Okay.
state inspector, yes, I'm the building inspector approved by the state for building code only. Zoning is controlled by the municipality. So any zoning is by municipality. The building code and being an inspector, even if you call the state inspector, a state inspector will tell you that I can only enforce the building code. And ADUs, the only part of ADUs in the building code is how they're constructed, what size they have to be, fire ratings. But as far as the zoning and use, the state of the building code has nothing to do with the zoning of it. It's strictly through the municipality.
Okay.
All right. So for the record, though, Anna or Dan, we do have to make a motion to, go along with the determination letter issued by the town's building inspector. If,
I'll make a motion to adhere to the recommendation of the building inspector and zoning enforcement officer for 1 Hemlock Drive.
okay,
I believe.
yep. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Anna?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Ken,
One
I
last
hear,
question. Is there
Sorry to
anything you-
interrupt. Chairman, can you just make sure you close the public hearing portion of that item when you are all set with, just your conversation? Just want to make sure you do that too.
you got a good one, Nicole. Do we have anybody in the public that wants to ask any questions regarding this?
Please go ahead and raise your hand or type in the chat. Okay, I'm not seeing any at this time.
Okay, so Anna, make a motion to close the public hearing portion of this.
Yes, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Dan?
Aye. Aye.
Anna?
Aye.
Okay, then that's closed. I'm sorry, Ken, you were saying earlier?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's what your guys' personal view is on this, and is there anything that you can do to help get this the incorrect bylaw fixed?
So again, I would echo what the chairman said. We're not here to give legal advice, our personal opinion, or anything else. We cannot give you any kind of guidance on this. We can only enforce what the bylaws say. And so I think your question, unfortunately, goes beyond the scope of what we can do here.
Yeah, this is a matter, Ken, I'm sorry, I have no skin in the game here, other than, just as the chairman.
I would say with
Yeah.
with any other concerns you may have in the town, like talk to your councilman and
I have.
voice
They're
your concerns.
unresponsive.
Yeah, what, excuse me?
He's very unresponsive.
There are councilmen and women at large too that represent the whole
General
Bridgewater,
population.
Yeah, so you can reach out to them as well.
I know. They all voted. I spoke at the town meetings, and they still all voted in favor of the way it was written, which it totally blows my mind. All right, I'll be looking for the denial letter then.
All right, good luck, Ken.
All right,
luck.
thank you.
Take care. That was the only item on the agenda. We do have Where is it? I had it here a second ago.
I believe I put 2 sets of minutes in there for you.
Yeah, I was trying to find the agenda.
If you got to them, if not, that's okay. I just try to keep plucking along.
Well, I was going to ask, yeah, I looked at them. Did Dan or Anna, did you have a chance to review the minutes?
I did review the minutes, but I don't remember it. One, in order to make a motion, one was from, on the agenda, it's 5/14. When was the other date? I did look at them. I just don't have them pulled up right now.
Yeah, I have the 514 pulled up, but not the other one.
Come on, let's go.
You know what? I might have only put one in, so just do that one.
Yeah,
I think,
I
I
think
think
that's
there was
what
only
it
one in.
I think I intended to drop the other one and I might have forgot. So please go ahead if you guys are all set with the 514, and on the next agenda, I'll make sure I get the other ones caught up. My apologies on that, guys.
So then I would make a motion to approve the minutes from 5/14/25.
And I will second that.
All right, all in favor? Anna?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Myself, aye. So the motion passes, the minutes are approved. That being the remaining items on the agenda, make a motion to adjourn.
Do we need to
Um,
close the public portion of the hearing first, or
Well,
No, you can just adjourn.
it's just all good? Yeah.
we can just adjourn. We already closed the public and there was nothing else to do.
Gotcha.
I would make a motion to close, I mean, to adjourn, excuse me.
Sorry, I confused everything. I will second that motion.
All in favor? Anna?
Aye.
Ken? Excuse me, Dan?
Aye.
Myself, aye. All right, everyone. Thank you, and we will see you at the next meeting.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Take care.